Welcome to the Z Artist. I am an artist, just like I assume. Have you ever posted an art piece? You worked hard on it. You practiced. You did, used all the skills, all the colors that you like, and it's the best one you've ever made. Then you post it, and it gets like 5 likes and 10 views in 30 days. How do you feel about your artwork now? Do you see it as less valuable? Do you see it as ugly now that it hasn't gotten the attention, the interaction with the internet? It's the same artwork you made, the same effort you put in, the same time you spent, the same skill you used on it. But because it didn't get attention, does that mean that the art is now bad? Since the internet has been around for a long time now, it's definitely affected how we as artists feel about our art sometimes. Before the internet, we used to spend time, with ourselves. We draw, we practice, and we feel good. Oh, look, I did something at the end of the day. I expressed myself. Sometimes, friends and family would see the art and be like, wow, that's pretty good. You should continue. And that would give you a little bit of motivation. Yeah, there were a few, maybe bullies at school who didn't like your art, but those were like very few people. Majority of the time, it was just you or some of your friends who would view your art and give you feedback, and it was normally just normal, and you would still enjoy drawing. But now, as an artist, when you make a piece of art and then throw it on the internet, now you're exposing it to millions of people, and if it doesn't get the attention that you think it should, it really affects how you enjoy it, doesn't it? Is art still enjoyable? Yes, but being online, well, at least especially for me, has affected how I enjoy it. Instead of enjoying it just for the sake of making it, the value now becomes external. Why so? Well, because, as artists now, we're pressured to post our art. Of course, some of us want to succeed, we want to sell our art, and so we post it, and then when it doesn't get attention, it really makes us feel bad, like we wasted our time. Because, we want that validation online. As an artist, your art is valued by, sometimes it's valued by what people see, In order for you to sell it, people have to like it, right? But then we forget that the internet doesn't work that way, In the past, like, you could sell, maybe if someone appreciates, someone in your neighborhood or people around you know that you're good at art, or they like how you draw, they'll just buy it from you. But now you're putting it in a very busy internet environment. People are distracted by so many things, so it is 100% possible that they see your art and they just overlook it because they are just so busy with a lot of things. So it's not that your art is bad or it's not sellable or non-appreciative. It's just that people are so busy they can't see it. And another thing that affects that is that sometimes we compare ourselves with other artists that maybe they are at the similar level that we are, or we feel like we are more skilled than them, but they are getting more attention and more views, and it can make us feel like our art is just ugly or of no value. That's not the case. It's just because, again, the algorithms and the internet, it doesn't work according to how much work we put into our art. It just works independently on its own systems. So here's a few things that I did in order to keep me enjoying my art. So what I did is I split it. Yes, because I wanted to sell my artwork, so I split. There's art for business and then art for myself. I think it's important for us as artists to have something that we just draw for ourselves, not to be posted, just for us to enjoy it, to enjoy the process, because we love drawing, we love making it. So we should have art that we just make for ourselves. I can't stress this enough. I think it's just very important. I know some people may disagree, and I would like to hear your views, but I think you should at least have some art that you make for yourself. Of course, if you are in the business of selling art, then you should split. Make some art that you sell, you post, but then there's some art that you just make for yourself. You don't show anyone. You don't show anyone online. You just keep it for yourself. You just draw it just for the sake of practicing, just for the sake of enjoying the craft. I think it's very much important, because that is what keeps your craft growing. Because if you attach your art based on how it does on social media, it can really affect you mentally, so much so that you may even want to stop making art, entirely, which it's something that you really love. It's a good hobby, it's a good thing to have, making art. So try to keep it alive, make something for yourself. And then if you want to do it for business, while you have art for yourself, for the business, you need to emotionally detach from it a bit. Remember that business doesn't work like the way you normally make art. Business is just strictly business. People may transact with your art as if they're buying groceries. You have to keep that in mind, that the business mindset doesn't really care too much about the artist's feeling. It's more about getting an item that satisfies them. So if you want to succeed in the art business, you need to, or at least what I think is, you need to follow the practices of those who are good at doing the art businesses. Those that are good at doing the art businesses, because they've done it for years, you will learn from them, and then you'll be able to succeed in your art business, possibly. But that doesn't mean that if it fails, that your art is now valueless. No, it's just the business environment is different from how you feel as an artist. So separate how you feel as an artist from how your art business performs, because your art, the way your art is valued, doesn't necessarily matter in the business sense, because the businesses are only caring about satisfying themselves, as in meeting business standards. I hope what I'm saying makes sense, But if you want to maintain your enjoyment of art, make sure that you make some arts for yourself. You just make it for yourself, and just, or just practice something that you won't post. Not every progress has to be seen online. Not everything has to be posted online. Some things are just for you, yourself as an artist. Because if you still want to enjoy it, you need to emotionally disconnect with how your art performs online and how you are generally progressing. If you feel like you still need to post, maybe you should post in places that are less critical, or maybe places where there are other artists that will respectfully appreciate and give you proper feedback, if you still insist on doing it online. But realistically, remember that how it does online and how your skill is not the same thing. So if you want to enjoy art, at least in my opinion, make sure that you don't connect it with how it performs online. Well, this is what I thought I'd share with you guys today. Tell me your thoughts if you have.
Suscríbete a mi canal de YouTube, dale like y activa las notificaciones.